Hello everyone, Gary Elysium's here. Welcome to part 4 of my complete album collection series. Now if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Not only will you get updates every time I post a video, for example, every time I post another video of my complete vinyl collection series, you'll also be able to support my channel, which I really do appreciate. Now part 3, we left off in the G's, and this part 4, we're going to get right into it. We're going to pick up where the G's and go all the way to K. Alright, I'm going to pull out the rest here in G. Coming in first, we have Green Day with their 1994 breakthrough album, Dookie. Great album. This is a 2008 repress. Put that down there for a minute. Next up, American Woman from the Guess Who. The Guess Who, one of my favorite bands of all time. Very underrated, I feel. Very heavy band. Great songwriters, great musicians. Just a really good band overall. Here we have Rockin', the Guess Who. It's still in the shrink, unopened. I believe this is 1972. As you can see, it has the As Seen on TV ad sticker there for only $1.99. Really cool album by the Guess Who. Fortunately, this came out towards the end of their career, and you know, Randy Bachman was the lead and formed Bachman Turner Overdrive, and not as good as the early albums, but still a heavy album. And then we have the Best of the Guess Who. This is released in, I believe this is 1972 or 73. You know, about 12 songs on here. Some of their greatest hits. Really cool stuff. Again, this is just like one of those bargain bin finds that you can always see, and the CD is really cheap, and I don't understand why, because it's such a great band, and you think it would be a little more. Alright, next up, these are all represses of Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, of course, their amazing debut. Not sure the year of this repress. See the band there. But G&R, the original pressings of Appetite are out there, but again, they came out more in the CD era, so it's, you know, much harder to find than the CD. Up next, Use Your Illusion, double LP of, yeah, again, it doesn't have the year of this repress, but I also have Use Your Illusion 2 repress. Both double LPs, so 4 LPs altogether to make up them two. They were actually released on the same day, the Use Your Illusion albums. Instead of making a double album, they just, you know, released 2 different albums at the same time. Alright, now we're getting into the H's. Coming in with VOA by Sammy Hagar. One of his last really big solo albums before he would go on to join Van Halen. Features probably his most well-known solo song, I Can't Drive 55. Next up, some great old outlaw country, Merle Haggard and the Strangers, I'm sorry. This is Swinging Doors and The Bottle Let Me Down. I believe it was just called Swinging Doors. So yeah, it features the amazing song Swinging Doors. I always love that song by him. And The Bottle Let Me Down, another great song. See Merle Haggard looking very young there before the you know, his more iconic look with the beard and the cowboy hat. Next up, George Harrison. This is the original pressing of Cloud 9 from 1987. Produced by Jeff Lynne and George Harrison. Really good comeback for George, along with the Traveling Wilburys, which were formed around the same time. Features the huge hit, Got My Mind Set on You. And When We Was Fab, really cool song where he reminisces about the Beatles. I'm sorry. Next, Dreamboat Annie, the debut album from Heart. See Ann and Nancy Wilson there, featuring Magic Man, Crazy on You, you know, Dreamboat Annie, Fancy Child, Dreamboat Annie, and then the reprise of Dreamboat Annie. Really cool album. Next one from Heart. This is Dog and Butterfly. This is a gatefold. What's the big song off here? Straight On. Great hard rocking song from Heart. Alright, now we're getting into the 1967 debut, original pressing, Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experienced? This is the original pressing. Unfortunately, the spine is a little torn up. Really, the vinyl's in really good shape though. Next up, Jimi Hendrix, the sophomore album, Axis, Bold as Love. As you see, it's a gatefold with that cool album artwork there. And funny thing about this is when Hendrix was having this album made, he actually told the art designer to pay homage to his Indian roots, meaning Native American. The art designer obviously, you know, misunderstood him, and he went with the Indian culture from the country India, and it became an iconic photo, and it kind of fits in with the you know, 60s Zen psychedelic hippie, you know, visions back then, which still hold up to this day. Next up, we have his final LP, Electric Ladyland. This is the American cover. I'm sure everyone's familiar with. The British cover featured the naked ladies in the cover, which obviously couldn't be released here in the States. Another gatefold. Amazing album, double LP. And we have Smash Hits. I always like the colors there that they used on Smash Hits. This was released in 1969, I believe, after Electric Ladyland. While Hendrix was still alive. Says giant poster included. Again, just like I said with the Country Joe and the Fish album, I've never seen this poster. I've never seen it in stores. I've never been sold. I do not have the poster, and maybe it's something I could look up because I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Next up, this is a repress, obviously, because this came out way later. Originally recorded in 1967 at the Monterey Pop Festival. This is Jimi Hendrix Experience Live at Monterey. This is a 2014 repress. Such an iconic photo there. One of my favorite live albums from Hendrix, right after Woodstock. Next up we have, this is Winterland. This was a Target exclusive. I believe this is colored, yes. So it's an orange, kind of smoky looking vibe there. Vinyl. Live album, really good stuff on here. Kind of similar to the Monterey Pop Festival lineup. It's got Fire on there, Foxy Lady, Like a Rolling Stone, Hey Joe, Little Wing, Are You Experienced Live, which is not that often featured on his live albums, and ends with Purple Haze. It's recorded live at Winterland, San Francisco, the weekend of October 10th through 12th, 1968. Alright, let me put these back and then I can get into the rest of the H's here that I have. These are a little hard to deal with, obviously. A little more bulkier than the CDs in the CD collection. Next up, we have the Best of Herman's Hermits. I don't remember offhand what's on here. Kind of a corny back cover of, what's his name? Peter, I can't remember his name. Next up, Hole, Live Through This. Regardless of my personal views on Cordy Love, this is a really good album. I really do like it. This is a 2016 repress. See the back cover there. But yeah, these songs are really, you know, rocking, really heavy, and just really catchy. Next up, this is one of my favorite album covers from the 60s. This is the Hollies with Evolution. This came out in 67. As you could tell, they went full on with the psychedelic movement and the Summer of Love stuff. Carrie Ann, such an amazing song. Rain in a Window, just a really cool British pop song. And you can see a young Graham Nash right there sporting the goatee. Really cool album. Then we have the Hollies Greatest Hits. Probably $1 fine. We'll tour up there, but it plays. Another repress. Amazing artist. Going way before time. This is a 2013 repress. Buddy Holly and the Crickets. This is the Chirping Crickets. This was actually released, I think, just under the Crickets. Before it was Buddy Holly and the Crickets, and before Buddy Holly released a solo debut album. Just amazing influence on the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Who. Till this day, he's still influencing artists, including myself. Then we have 20 Golden Greats, iconic album. Obviously, it's a greatest hits by the title. Such a cool cover there with the Buddy Holly Liz. Just amazing songs on this. Buddy Holly, such a good artist. All right, next, Humble Pie Performance, Rockin' the Fillmore. One of the greatest albums, live albums, ever released. It's released in 1973, 3, I want to say. Could be wrong. Remember offhand. Just really cool. I mean, I Walk on Gilded Splinters, the Dr. John cover, takes up a whole side of this. Amazing. The cover of Rolling Stone from Muddy Waters takes up another one. Covers of Hallelujah by Ray Charles, and I guess this is whoever owned it before wrote their name on there. I don't know what that is. I know it's not an autograph. I guess it's the former owner. Then we have Smokin', my favorite studio album by Humble Pie. Really, really good album. Hot and Nasty is great on there. Obviously 30 Days in the Hole, I would say, is probably their most well-known song. All right, we're going to put these H's back, and then we're going to get into the I's. Not that many, but first up, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, Iron Butterfly. I'm sure everyone's seen this album before. It's one of those vinyls that's basically you can find anywhere. Released in 1968. It's got the cool psychedelic cover art there, and obviously the whole side too is the 17-minute plus In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida song. Next up, this is a 2014 repress of Iron Maiden's debut album. I did see the Paul Di'Anno era Iron Maiden albums used, but when you see them, they're always extremely overpriced. So I decided to buy the repressing just because, I don't know. I know it's not the original cover art. I know Eddie looks a little different, but really cool stuff on here. And the follow-up, Killers. I actually prefer their debut album over to Killers, but Killers is a great album. And I mean, the cover art is just iconic. Again, this is the 2014 repress. Just double checking it there. There you see the back cover. And at this time, I did have Number of the Beast and Peace of Mind, but the covers were kind of beat up, and the vinyl was decent, and someone offered me a good price for them. So I wound up selling them, and I was like, you know, I'll replace them down the road. And I haven't yet, but I will when I find them used. And they're albums that I want to grab. The original pressings, I don't want to get the, reissues. All right, next up, to finish out the I's, this is Iron and Wine. This is actually an EP called Woman King. I actually like this a lot. A little different what I usually listen to, but it's up there. The title track, which opens at Woman King, is great. Jezebel's cool. And Evening on the Ground, Lilla's Songs, which ends it, is really good stuff. And I always like the cover art there with the little thimbles and that old antique looking case. And that's it I have for the I's. Not a whole lot there. J's we're getting into now. We'll add a couple more at a time. So we'll do this here. Sorry. Mick Jagger, She's the Boss. Mick Jagger's first solo album, and in my opinion, his best solo album. Lonely at the Top, Let's Ocean Up's cool. Just Another Night was the hit single for this. Next up, we have James Gang with their debut album called Your Album. The Great Funk number 48 on here. Obviously, this is Joe Walsh, as you can see right there. The band he debuted with before he would go solo and then eventually join the Eagles. Then we have the Best of the James Gang, really good collection. Funk 48, Walk Away, Funk 49 is on here. Take a Look Around, another decent song. Kind of cool Western looking cover art there. Kind of classic from 1967, Surrealistic Pillow. First album to feature Grace Slick. Amazing classic album. Stereo, I thought it was mono, but it is stereo. She Has Funny Cars, Somebody to Love, and White Rabbit are obviously the hits off of here, but this whole album is just amazing. The instrumental Embryonic Journey, acoustic, great. Plastic Fantastic Lovers, amazing. 3/5 of a Mile, 10 seconds, kind of a heavier, faster song. Great album. And another one, their follow-up, released in the same year, 1967, After Bathing at Baxter's. Great guitar work on here featuring Jorma Kaukonen's great guitar work on Spare Change. Really cool stuff there. Then we have Crown of Creation from Jefferson Airplanes, released the following year, 1968. Again, some more great guitar work like The House of Pooneil's Corner, which ends it, is one of my favorite tracks from them. Lather, which is a song written about the drummer at the time. I want to say, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the drummer's name. I know Skip Spence was out of the band by then. Spencer Dryden. Spencer Dryden. I always get it confused because it's actually funny because it's a song about Spencer turning 30. And it was like he was an old man and he was turning 30. Wish I was turning 30 again. Blessed's Pointed Little Head. Jefferson Airplane live. This is at one, I believe this is one of the Fillmores. Fillmore East/West. So yeah, it was actually recorded. Combination of both Fillmores. This is basically stuff from their 3 albums with Grace Slick and yeah, nothing from Jefferson Airplane Takes Off, the debut album. Volunteers, my opinion, this is kind of where I end with Jefferson Airplane, because after this I feel like they didn't really make, they made, you know, good music but nothing to my liking, and this is the end of, I feel like, the classic stretch of albums they put out. The worst of Jefferson Airplane, which is, you know, actually a greatest hits of Jefferson Airplane. And then we have Jefferson Starship with Red Octopus. Jefferson Starship, obviously, Jefferson Airplane, moving along, still has Marty Ballin in the band, Grace Slick, Paul Kantner from the original days, Papa John Creech, which was kind of a mentor that they played with, who was actually featured on this album. Here we have the debut album from JETHRO, TULL. This was released in 1968, before they really got proggy, but it's kind of a cool, hard rockin', psychedelic, British poppy sound. Really cool stuff. Then the follow-up, Benefit, still not proggy yet, more of a hard rockin' album. Really, this is a really good album. And obviously this is where we go start getting into the prog with Aqualung, their most well-known album, their biggest selling album. Features the great single Aqualung, Cross-Eyed Mary, Mother Goose is great, My God is amazing, Locomotive Breath, another hit off of here. And then we have full-blown prog rock, Thick as a Brick, split on 2 sides, Thick as a Brick Part 1, Thick as a Brick Part 2. Then we have War Child, features the hit single Bungle in the Jungle, another great album. I'm just gonna leave them down there. Put them back later. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I love rock and roll. A little bit of ring wear on there, but a cool album overall. Really cool cover art. Elton John. This is actually his, well, it's kind of his sophomore album, but he did release a soundtrack called Friends. So this is his self-titled album. Features Your Song, which opens it up, Take Me to the Pilot. Your Song was actually called the greatest pop song ever written by John Lennon at the time, which actually, you know, definitely turned heads. Here we have Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. This features Crocodile Rock's on here, Daniel. His classic, amazing album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. So many great songs in here. The 11-Minute Funeral for a Friend, Into Love Lies Bleeding opens it, Candle in the Wind, Benny the Jets, obviously the title track. Jamaica Jerk Off is a great song. Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting. Really good album. I've seen that movie too. Caribou. The Bitch Is Back is on here. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, which is an amazing, amazing song. Here we have a repress from 2017. Robert Johnson, King of the Delta Blues Singers. Now this is actually Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is a 2 LP set. It's really cool fold out there, Robert Johnson. Yeah, like I said, this is a repress. I did actually, I've seen this, it wasn't an original copy. It was like a late 60s, early 70s repress. And I did own the Volume 2, but it was one of those albums like I showed earlier. I forget which one it was, but can't remember off the top of my head which one had it. But it was from Temple College University in my hometown of Philly, where I bought it, and it was just stamped with this Temple over it. And I don't know, I sold it off. Next up, this is Howard Jones, Dream into Action. Only reason I own this is it's got the song No One Is to Blame, which is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I loved it ever since I was a little kid. I remember it being on MTV, and my mom liked it also, so kind of significant for me like that. Next up we have I Got Them Old Cosmic Blues Again Mama by Janis Joplin, her solo debut album. As you can see, it's got a little bit of wear there. I did see this for not too much money with a really good album cover, but it was a later repress and I didn't buy it. Vinyl's great, so whatever. Pearl, the follow-up and sadly her last album. Amazing classic album from Janis Joplin, the Full Tilt Boogie Band, excuse me. Obviously, Move Over is amazing. Cry Baby, Me and Bobby McGee, Mercedes Benz. Here we have Journey with Escape, their huge album. Don't Stop Believing's on here. Stone in Love, Who's Crying Now. Open Arms ends the album. This is a repress, not sure the year of the repress. From Joy Division, this is Closer. Then we have Judas Priest, Stained Glass, Still and Shrink. Take it out so you can see it better. It's one of Priest's greatest albums. One of the heaviest albums to come out of the 70s. Then we have the great live Unleashed in the East. This is original pressing. Amazing album. One of my favorites I own. And this is a repress. This is a 1993. Not sure the year of this, but this is Painkiller from 1990. And that's it with the K's. I got a couple more here before we finish the video. Kansas, Left Overture. Amazing album. Opens up with Carry On My Wayward Son. Even though it's played constantly, it's still, for me, never overplayed in my heart. I love that song. Such an amazing song. Really good prog band, Kansas. Here's another one of their, I think this is their biggest selling album, Point of No Return. Obviously, it features the title track and another one of their biggest selling songs of all time, Dust in the Wind. And, you know, Hopelessly Human, Sparks of the Tempest. Just great songs to end this album. And then here we got, this is a repress, Albert King with Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's recorded in 1983, but I don't know the year of this repress. Really cool album. It's just, you know, kind of laid back. I just liked hearing the dialogue between, you know, Albert King and Stevie Ray Vaughan talking. Just cool stuff. Prog masterpiece, one of the first prog albums ever. In the Court of the Crimson King and An Observation by King Crimson. I mean, the creepy, iconic cover art, just amazing. Alright, we have Kiss's debut album. I've had this for so long. I know it's got some wear and ring wear and a little beat up looking. Vinyl still plays them great. I haven't replaced this because I had it for so long, and this is my favorite Kiss album. We have Hotter Than Hell, the follow-up. I love this album a lot. A lot of people knock the production, but I don't mind it. It's okay. Obviously, the production can be better, but it doesn't hold me back from loving this album as much as I do. And then last one for this video, Dress to Kill. Yeah, little damage there. But this took me a while to find, but of course after I found this with the damage, and I think I paid like 12 bucks for it, which I know I kind of overpaid. The vinyl's in great shape though, it looks brand new. But of course after I buy this, I start seeing them everywhere. So eventually I might replace this cover. But anyway, that is part 4 of my complete vinyl collection video. We finished up the G's, went through K's. Part 5, we'll continue with the K's and go through the M's. We got a lot in the M actually, I'm looking at it. So everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And everyone stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.